If you're looking for some great back-to-school tech items, I have a few to recommend in this video sponsored by Best Buy. So let's just get into it. Hey, it's Joshua Vergara. What's going on, everybody? Let's envision a day back at school with these powerful items that include a gaming laptop, some good audio, and a smart mug for keeping the energy going. Each item I'm going to talk about in this video are things that I wish I had back when I was in university. When I look back at my time in school, it makes me appreciate just how far our tech has come. I remember the first laptop I got for classes was like a massive 17-inch PC that barely held a charge and needed to be plugged in basically all the time. In those days, having a laptop wasn't even seen as very practical in the classroom, and here I was trying to lug a huge one all the way to class. It was simply more trouble than it was worth. So for this video, I decided on this, the ASUS Zephyrus G14. This will be the centerpiece of our imagined day of classes and working and maybe some extracurriculars. After all, this is a gaming laptop. Now, on its own, the G14 is everything that I would and still want in an everyday notebook. It's small enough to fit in basically any bag and can be carried among class, cafe, and home easily, and its capabilities make it more than suitable for any form of typical work, while powerful enough to handle the bigger tasks throughout the day. Now, speaking of taking on the day, there's no reason why we can't have a little bit of smarts in our early morning routines. And that's why you see me in this video sipping some tea out of this Ember mug. Also available at Best Buy, like all of the items I'm showcasing, this heated smart mug keeps the tea or coffee hot so that you can still have a warm cup no matter what you're doing otherwise. While you could connect it to a smartphone for further control, right out of the box it's already tuned to keep hot liquids like coffee hot for an extended period of time. But for me right now, the Ember mug is perfect because you know I love drinking tea, and while writing up scripts like this one you're hearing right now, it's making sure that even after 2,000 words, the drink is still nice and warm. But of course, for any morning routine before a long day of work and study, it's certainly a great way to make sure your coffee stays warm all the way up to when you really have to run out the door. Now, I do want to note a couple of reasons why I chose the G14 for an on-the-go setup. Since it's powered by an AMD processor, the battery life is actually quite good. Definitely enough for a large chunk of the day when dialing back the graphics settings and sticking to smaller tasks like typing up papers, doing research, or all of the above actually. So I wouldn't have to bring this included power brick with me. In all honesty, this might be the bulkiest part of this otherwise very sleek setup, but I don't have to bring it with me because if it came down to it, I could just top up the G14 while on the go with smaller charging solutions via the USB-C ports. Back to the specs of the G14 itself. The 14-inch screen might be a little bit on the smaller side, but it's all in the pursuit of high portability and efficiency. And no matter what I'm doing on this thing, it obviously fits perfectly on a table, a desk, or even on a lap when lounging in like a nice cafe. Typing anything up on this keyboard is a breeze, and we don't even really need to have a mouse around because this touchpad is very responsive and very large. Of course, there are ways of improving both of those input experiences, but let's save that for when we actually get back home. And compared to previous Zephyrus G14s, this new edition now has a webcam up top, which will come in handy for any video calls. Maybe by now it's not as much the norm for classes, but for me, it's definitely something I appreciate having for briefings and meetings. And you'll notice how all of this work and productivity is being done on a gaming laptop. They're usually powerful machines anyway, so why not use them for other scenarios too? A noisy cafe or loud dorm mates are a thing though, and while trying to get work done, it's important to minimize the distractions. Of course, if you get distracted because of any games you might have on the powerful G14, well, that's on you. But one type of audio product that we didn't have back when I was in university is the truly wireless earbud. Wired headphones are totally fine, but small earbuds like these can still pack some really big features. The ones I'm recommending here are the Jabra Elite 4 Active. Now, Jabra have been great in the wireless audio space for years now, particularly when it comes to their built-in microphones. The audio coming out of these mics is pretty great, certainly good for those video calls that you might be taking once in a while. But I went for the Elite 4 Active because of their affordability while still managing to provide active noise cancellation and pass-through sound. Both are really useful. Obviously, ANC works in certain environments because it blocks out the noise around you, hopefully helping in terms of focus. But when you want to keep environmental awareness, the pass-through mode is available so that you can hear things pretty easily even when media is still playing. All of that is controlled via single presses on the physical button that is in each earbud, so you're not going to accidentally press anything by brushing along touch-sensitive areas. In a pinch, wireless earbuds like the Jabra Elite 4 Active sit in a simple small spot in the backpack and are always at the ready. Battery life is pretty good with 7 hours in the buds, which can be replenished 3 extra times using the case. Now, there is one more reason why I wanted to showcase the Jabra Elite 4 Active in this video. For their price, the ANC and pass-through are good while the sound quality remains high. And all of that in a pair that is IP57 rated. That is a high durability rating, meaning that these can work in basically any environment. Now, if there's one thing that I wish I did way more back when I was in university, it's work out and really just take better care of my own health. Maybe spending some time in a gym, running outside, or even just doing some home workouts. The Elite 4 Active are thus originally great workout earbuds. They just happen to fit seamlessly into other work-related scenarios too. They work really well for multiple use cases, kind of like a G14 gaming laptop working well for productivity scenarios as well. So we've covered classes, cafe work, and even squeezed in a little bit of exercise. The ASUS Zephyrus G14 as the centerpiece is doing its job very well, supported by wireless audio in the Jabra Elite 4 Active. But once you get back home, there's no reason that the same product can't get more support and maybe become even more comfortable. The powerful specs in the G14 include the Ryzen 9 6900HS with Radeon graphics, which all of that is plenty for most games that you might play in the downtimes. Those same graphics capabilities mean that blowing up that screen to a bigger size is totally possible too. Now, Best Buy have a slew of monitors available for this purpose, but I'll just briefly mention the one that I'm using here in the home setup. This is the Samsung M8 smart monitor, a 32-inch 4K display with full smart television capabilities, but what I really wanted to focus on this desk, however, are the items down here. Even though I keep teasing a bit of gaming here and there, our main objective here is to get stuff done, and that's where the Logitech MX lineup really comes through. Now, these two are brand new to the lineup. This is the MX mechanical keyboard and the MX Master 3S. I'm a sucker for mechanical keyboards, and it's important for the feel to be good because I'm pretty much typing all the time. Now, in particular, the MX mechanical model that I'm showing here has the tactile switches, which are quieter than the higher-pitched clicky keys but still have that mechanical bump. It's better for not annoying any of your roommates that might be within earshot. It's also super minimal, leaving a lot of room on the desk for any items that you might need to put on there. Books, phones, maybe some sort of caffeine for those late nights maybe. And even quieter is the MX Master 3S mouse, which is an ergonomically friendly productivity mouse. Now, its shape makes it more comfortable for long periods of use, while buttons around the thumb rest are all very useful for various shortcuts and tasks. As a video editor, I don't know how I went this long without a horizontal scroll wheel, especially one that's so easily accessible right here. Now, both the MX Mechanical and the MX Master 3S can connect wirelessly to up to 3 Bluetooth-enabled devices, aside from the USB receivers that are included in the boxes. And while it was never really a consideration in mice for me before, the sound of the MX Master 3S is really interesting, and by that I mean there's barely any sound at all. All in all, this keyboard and mouse combination will be comfortable for both your hands and for anyone else's ears. Again, even though every item in this video might have been originally geared towards specific use case scenarios, I'm all for using good tech for multiple use cases. The Jabra Elite 4 Active are workout buds that are just good sounding for any occasion. The MX lineup is a great productivity set, but they're really useful throughout computer use or even gaming, and the powerful ASUS Zephyrus G14 is a gaming laptop, but all that power in a small form factor makes it one of the most versatile notebooks for work or play. At the end of the day, put all of these together and you have a pretty great way to cap off a typical day of work or study, playing some games maybe to end the night. Oh, and that same mug that might have helped start the day with some coffee? Well, it can also work perfectly for a warm cup of herbal tea before bed. We come full circle on what a day back in university for me might have looked like, but with today's tech. Once again, every single one of the products that I have showcased in this video are all available at Best Buy. Not only can you find them on their online store, you can also find them in store, so it's easy to experience them before purchase. Best Buy have everything you might need for success in work or play, and they're always here to help make sure you are properly kitted out. Check out all of the items that I showcased in this video and in this back-to-school setup, and find more from Best Buy in the links that I have in the description below. A big thanks again to Best Buy for sponsoring this video. From there, I'm going to go ahead and call it on this one. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Please take care of yourselves and each other, and enjoy your tea. Maybe from an Ember mug, everybody.